Hey guys, this is my 2008 Chevy Uplander I just bought. It's a cargo van, newly installed bird shit. So first thing, I bought this. This did latch. The handle was a little bit messed up, but it still latched. And I opened it the other day to look at the owner's manual to see what this guy did right here, and it wouldn't latch again. Like a piece busted off, and it just won't latch again. So I have to buy a new handle for it. So that's broken. Other than that, like I said, this is used. It's a 2008. It's got 126,000 miles on it or so. Like I said, I just bought it, so it's got this still. Whoever had it last, they rigged this, so it's sturdy. It's sturdy as hell, actually. Stays out, no problem with that. Whatever that button there is, don't even know what that's for, but somebody messed that up. So they must have used it a lot because it's not even rough. It's just it just wore off. Same up here too. The chrome wore off. So it was used, quite a bit, I guess. That part's missing in there in the handle. This door panel moves. It's not even really connected. They tried to fix this for me because I complained about it when I bought it. But power windows work. The locking part of the power locks works. The unlocking part does not. Oh, it does. It didn't work yesterday, so I guess I'm lucky. It didn't work at all yesterday. I tried it like 4 times. So that's cool. Now it works. Power mirrors do not work. Or they do. Let's see. Nope, they still don't. I didn't know. Maybe that's a separate piece, though, because this was kind of busted in. It was actually falling in. They kind of fixed it, but it's still not connected. So yeah, so now that this works, I have to watch that because it's kind of hit or miss. Panel's missing right here, too. Your cruise control on this is weird. It's this little guy right there. You have to push this in, and then you have to hold this up for cruise control. And then, or sorry, you have to hold it down for cruise control, and then up and down is resume and coast. And then cancel is if you let that guy out. Sorry, this guy out. It's such a weird system. This has the 3.9 liter V6. It is a GM 3.9 liter. It is 240 horsepower in this van and 240 pound-feet of torque. It is plenty good enough for this van, honestly. I have the same engine in the Monte Carlo, which you cannot see from here because my truck's blocking it. The truck's blocking it. It's a nice. It's not a huge torquey engine, but it'll do. Like it's a good engine. So problem in this is I bought it and the transmission started slipping shortly after. I did buy a warranty on it. It's funny because at first they offered me the warranty. It was for 3 months or 4,500 miles, and it was like $800. And I was like, yeah, I paid 3,500 for this. I was like, no, I'm not paying, I'm not paying $800 for a warranty. And then when I bought it, it's starting to rain. Okay. When I bought it, I guess, what was it? Oh, because of this stuff was messed up. The owner of the place actually wanted and also, my bad. Also, when I bought it, before I bought it, the radiator was leaking from somewhere. So they told me, I don't know if this is true or not, but based on the reviews and stuff, I mean, I have no reason to disbelieve them. But the guy said that when they get vehicles, because they're all used, when they get them, they usually use them for about 200 miles or so to make sure everything works fine. And they also have their own mechanic in there. So they fix them. So when I started it, like they gave me the keys and stuff. They're like, yeah, I'll be right out. So they started it and they let me, walk around it and stuff. I was watching this real carefully because I'm in Ohio and I figured it'd be rusty as hell. This thing is super clean for one underneath. There's like hardly any rust on it at all. But so the radiator was leaking. So they took it in. They're like, okay, well, I offered them money. Like I said how much, I was like, hey, because they wanted $5,000 for this. I wasn't paying $5,000. So I was like, $3,500. And they're like, okay, well, do you have any stipulations for that? And I was like, well, $3,500, and can you like fix the radiator? And they ended up putting that into the contract and stuff. I made sure it was in writing. And they tried to fix this too, but this, nothing. This part here was like falling in, like the power mirror part was falling into the door. So they fixed it. It's nice and sturdy, but it doesn't work still. But it doesn't fall in anymore. So everything else works that I know of. Here's the system for like the dash stuff, which is fine. Everything works with that. The CD player I have not tried yet. I do not know if it works. They had an auxiliary cord in here because that's busted right there. Busted piece off. But AC works, heat works, everything, defroster works, everything works, so it's nice. And then had a clean Carfax on it too. But yeah, they ended up replacing the radiator, which was nice. Brand new radiator in this thing. You can actually, I could tell too, it's brand new. I could see it. And then they actually, they told me like, hey, can you pick it up tomorrow morning or something like that? We'll call you. And I was like, okay, fine, whatever, that's cool. Problem is my girlfriend doesn't drive, so it's kind of an issue for me to drive long distances, especially to, to pick up something. So I was gonna call my buddy the next day to see if he could take me in. And I did a knock on the door at 10 o'clock at night. They drove the van because the one guy stayed late for stuff, and he's like, yeah, he told me ahead of time too. He's like, hey, if I get off work kind of late, I can bring it over if that's cool. And I was like, yeah, that's fine, whatever. If it's not too much of an inconvenience. So he brought it over at 10 o'clock at night, dropped it off, took a picture of me with it, like shaking hands with him and stuff. And it's, it's nighttime, so probably looks like a creepy picture. But anyway, so I'll get back to this part. It was used, definitely. Somebody scratched the hell out of that part for no reason. Glove box, like I said, doesn't latch anymore because the handle is busted. I could probably rig it, but I don't want to. I'd rather get the handle fixed. Rather just do it the right way. I thought they used to have something up here, I thought, that was like another glove box, but this, maybe the cargo version doesn't have it or something. So anyway, my parents have, this is a 2008, my parents have an 07. It's the same thing, except for it's the Buick version. It's a Teresa. I actually drove that thing. It has the same engine. It's a 2007, so it's a year older. I drove that thing from Colorado. They moved. We grew up out here in Pennsylvania. I live in Ohio. It's like 15, 20 miles. I live like on the border. It's like 20 miles from where I grew up. My whole family basically moved out to Colorado. My brother moved out there first for a job, and then I moved out there because the job market was, the jobs and everything were going out, and I was getting like I worked at Walmart, which sucked, but had a manager that didn't like me. She was giving me 16 hours a week when I was hired full time, and was getting it fixed for a little bit, and then eventually I couldn't. So my brother offered me to move out there with him, so I did. Lived out there for 6 years, hated it. My parents moved out there like 2 years after I moved out there, 3 years after I moved out there, and then they moved back last year. I moved back 3 years ago. My brother's still out there and he's pissed, but whatever. On to the story. So I drove their van back because it was just my mom and my dad, and they had 3 vehicles. And they also ended up having to rent a U-Haul truck and a U-Haul trailer. The trailer was unexpected until the last day. They had too much stuff. So I went out there. They hauled a car behind the U-Haul truck. They had a car dolly. I mean, sorry, not a dolly, but a trailer. And then they had they had a pickup truck. They had an F-150 that they hauled the U-Haul trailer with, and then I drove the minivan back. So I already know how it acts. It's almost exactly like this thing. The inside is a little bit more luxurious than that, but the gauges look very similar. The engine's the same, transmission's the same. So I already knew how it drove and how they were. I don't like minivans. I have always said I never want a minivan, but this is different. This is for my business. So this is actually, I was gonna use the truck for the business. I said this in the truck review too. I actually put a ladder rack on it. I bought it without the ladder rack. It has a ladder rack on it now, which I'm showing you. There you go. I put that on in the fall, and after I've been driving that for a while. I've had it for 2 years, and then I was like, it only gets 12.7 miles per gallon on a good day. 13 on a good day. So what I did is I was like, well, that's not going to last me. I'm going to be driving probably 200 miles a day. That's going to kill me in gas. So yes, I spent $3,500 on this, but this thing gets like 24 miles per gallon on the highway, maybe 25, probably averages 20, 21. Not bad at all. Plus, with my business, I'm doing gutter cleaning and pressure washing of houses and decks and stuff. And my equipment can be back here. I already got my gun in here, got my nozzles and stuff over back behind there. There's already shelving in here that was there when I bought it, both sides. This cage was already here. I had to move it back. It was up to, you can see where it was. So I moved it back. It's got a roof rack on it already, which is why those holes are there, and these holes are here. It was leaking water. in the back on top of that shelf. That's why it's rusted back there. Back right, oh, sorry, right there. It was falling from the roof somewhere, so I got some Flex Seal and sealed that up. They already had it sealed up with like silicone, but it was falling apart, so I resealed it. It has doors on both sides. They all have cages. They have this wire mesh on them all the way around. So there is a gap down here, which I do not like. I'm gonna have to put something there. There's this little net down here for the in between the seats, but not a whole lot of storage space like up front, but there's a lot of space back there that I have. It's actually carpeted on the sides still, and it's good shape. I mean, the floor is like a hard plastic. It's, you know, it's just vinyl, not sticky, so everything's gonna slide around a bit unless it has rubber. So I'm gonna put some mats or something down there. So anyway, it's a good van. I'm 6'5". I have leg room. The funny thing, here's the funny thing. So when I drove my parents' minivan back from Colorado, I was like this. My knee was touching this right here, and I couldn't do anything about it. The seat didn't go any farther back, nothing. So this is weird for me that this one actually has space. Like if I'm driving like this, I mean, I can drive like that. My knee's farther away from it. There's nothing there. And it doesn't feel like it's farther back, but it is. The only other thing that gotta get fixed is my steering wheel. Like right now, this is pretty straight. My wheels are not straight with this like this. When I'm driving, this is turned like that. So I have to get that fixed. And then there's no fog lights on this, but you know, everything works fine. Wipers they're odd for me because it's a minivan. There's OnStar and crap up there. These buttons don't do anything. There's no button. They're not actually buttons. They're just plastic. These work just fine. So it's in good shape. I mean, yes, there's stuff wrong with it. Like, I don't care about this. It's a work van. I don't give a shit. So I just want air conditioning because I'll be working in the heat. I'm not gonna be working in the winter time, so this will be sitting probably most of the winter. So power windows, power locks, has these little things on the door. And then let's see what else. Really nothing special up there. It's just that and the OnStar and stuff, which you have to pay for, of course. It's definitely been used. It's, you know, this is discolored and stuff. It needs a cleaning, but I mean, it's for my business. I'm not gonna really worry about it. Nothing's really, you know, bad. I don't know why there's 2 marks up there. I don't know if that's just the way the plastic is or if that's part of, you know, they messed it up somehow. But this thing does need a transmission fluid change, as does my Monte Carlo. And then this one needs an oil. They said they changed the oil. I never trust that. So either way, they probably use conventional if they even did it. So I want full synthetic in here. That's what I use in everything. And I go longer distances without changing them. So, and it's been fine. I've been doing it for years. Oil still comes out smelling okay. Nothing, you know, nothing's wrong with them. It's just, you know, they're fine. I use Mobil 1, so it's a good brand. But yeah, they rigged this thing, so that is not going back in there. I don't know what happened to it. Don't care. It's, I mean, I can push down on that thing. I moved a little bit with that one, but it's not moving. So I can put a cup in there and not worry about it. And then let's see. Other than that, I really can't think of anything else. I'll probably go. I'll do a walk around. So like I said, I can't put that up anymore. And the exhaust. I mean, I'll show you this. This is rare for an Ohio vehicle. It was PA because I can see the inspection, the residue from the inspection sticker, so that's why it's in good shape. But it's easy to get in and out of. Got the roof rack on it. It's got a little thing up there. Tires and wheels are pretty small. And then I got let's see, I got the UPS truck going by. There's some dents on it here and there. There's like a dent here and a dent down there, right here. Nothing, who cares, you know, right? So there's a couple dents down there against the plastic down there. Wheels and tires are just normal. Some scrapes here and there. Like I said, the one taillight is loose, and then it's this one. Yeah, it's this one. Gotta put that in there better. Other side's fine. They painted this at some point in time because there's paint all over the one bumper down there. And then you can also see it like up in here, paint. I had a leak up here, so I put some Flex Seal up there. And then had a, sorry, I was distracted for a second. So I'm not gonna do anything to it. It's my, my work van. There's a little bit of rust up here. Same thing on the other side, but I was getting water leaking in between the window here, so I put Flex Seal up there. So hasn't, so far that I know, it hasn't leaked. It was leaking on the floor in there. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make sure it doesn't leak still, and I think it's fine now, but that'll keep it from rusting inside and stuff. And then I did up here, which is already starting to crack a bit. Whatever, Flex Seal. So I'm gonna have to do that again because that didn't even work that well, actually. So we'll see how it holds up. Maybe I got the creases better. So we'll see. But so we got this guy. Open up this, and then I didn't move the bottom, but I moved the top back, so that's why they look kind of funky. Those bolts there were bolted up there. That light works just fine. There's like glue and stuff back here, but these are nice and sturdy. And then this side's nice and sturdy. Like they move a little bit, but not much at all. And then there's like a knife thing back there, I didn't even notice. But that's busted down there. Nothing big. It's not busted completely, but it's busted. But the water was dripping like right here, so we'll see. And then the other water was dripping from up here, and it was dripping like straight down onto there. So I wiped it all up, and we'll see if it leaks still after I do the Flex Seal. If it did, I'll have to do it again or do something else. And then the other side, like I said, there was leaking. I don't know if it's a new hatch, like they put a different hatch on it or not, but I'm not sure. But either way, hopefully it's done leaking on me. But other than that, I haven't seen anything that was, where it's leaking anywhere else. It's just that spot up there and down there. So hopefully that fixed it. It's supposed to rain today and tomorrow, so we'll see. I'll have to come in here tomorrow and see if it helped. But, sorry, my knee was in a bad spot. So, got this. And then I'll open up this part back here. Nice and, yeah, they had something back here. I don't know what that's for. But, and then that's the only rust that's really on here is that up there, which isn't bad. But that's why I think it was a used part, because they got that up there. So they definitely got a rear hatch somehow. And then there we go. And I'm thinking it probably got like rear-ended or something, because that's why this is probably loose. It probably got like a light rear ending. And that didn't even cut, or did it? There we go, now it's shut. So already has a roof rack on it. Has that pipe on there I'm going to take off, but has this nice thing for aerodynamics a little bit to help it. That's busted, so that's awesome. There were bolts on that, but they're not there anymore, so I gotta figure out something with that. Put some bolts in there or something. I don't know where they really go, but because I got no way of doing that, so I'll have to do like 3M tape or something. Other than that though, it's nothing wrong with it. The tires need replaced pretty soon. It drives pretty straight, like I said, except for the steering wheel's crooked. Needs a new handle for the glove box in there. But I don't like minivans, but I like how this has at least has somewhat of a hood on it. It's odd looking. It's actually very odd looking, but at least it has a little bit of a hood for crashes and stuff if that ever happens. I bought a dash cam too. A little bit of rust right there too. But here, headlight gets water in it, just condensation from the inside. A little bit of rust down there behind it too. Nothing bad. It'll take a while for this to rust out. Especially if I keep on it, it won't. But I want to get different wheels for it. Nothing special, just something different. I don't want the black wheels like that. I just want something like a little bit shinier. So, but on top of that, I don't know. I don't really have anything else that I can think of to say about it. But it's just a van, just a work van, nothing special. So, if you have any questions or comments, just leave me a comment down below, and I'd appreciate it if you would like and subscribe. All right, thanks for watching my video.